Well, Mike Cannon, now a doyen of the Australian convention industry, if you like, okay,
yes.
for many, many years. Yeah. And then we've discovered you here working with Sarwak Convention Bureau. And not only that, you've moved to live in Sarawak as well.
Absolutely.
So tell me now, meetings, incentives, association meetings, all that sort of stuff. So what sort of product does Sarwak offer that is of interest to Australian and other international business visitors?
Okay. The key difference is, and the key loveliness about Sarawak, is adventure meets business. So when you come to this beautiful, beautiful state that is Sarawak, you meet the people. That's an adventure in itself. The people are incredibly warm and welcoming. The adventure element is meeting the orangutans. It's going on kayaks through pristine bush. It's going to cultural villages where you meet the different tribes of Sarawak. 28 different tribes.
Wow. Yeah.
Chinese element, Western element, Malay element. It's so diverse. But another key factor, John, is that it's fresh.
Yeah.
Okay, we've only been doing business events seriously since 2006.
My goodness.
And so whilst we're breaking records, last year we had a record 57 wins.
Yeah.
It's still fresh, and it's going to be fresh for at least another 10 to 15 years.
I mean, is Sarawak quite a large state?
It is a large state. It's as big as West Malaysia is in its own right.
And so compared to Australia, what sort of scale?
Sarawak is Tasmania.
Okay, cool.
Tasmania, or nearly a Victoria even.
Yeah.
Tasmania meets Victoria.
But a lot of it quite remote?
It is remote, but it's easy access. 2,500 seats a day between KL and Sarawak.
Okay, that's a good lift.
Or Singapore and Sarawak. 2 gateways.
Yeah.
More gateways. There's Kota Kinabalu and there's Brunei, but the 2 main gateways, Singapore and KL.
Yeah.
And lots of seats.
So for somebody who wants to hold a combination of, say, an incentive and also a meeting, you know, say, I don't know, a couple of hundred or a few hundred people, are there hotel facilities that they can use?
Okay, 5-star hotels, 4-star, 3-star. A convention centre can sit plenary 5,000.
Wow.
Same style of accommodation, 2,000, with all the breakout rooms and so forth. It's the first and only convention centre in the whole of Borneo. Our colleagues to the east are catching up a little bit from Sabah, but nevertheless, it is at the moment the only one. It's a beautiful design. It's designed on the leaf, the rainforest leaf.
Okay.
So when it rains, yes, it's got its waterfall, and do we recycle the water? Of course we recycle the water. So we've got convention centres, we've got great infrastructure with the hotels, huge meeting facility, but then they go out and meet the people. And in a moment's notice. So you can be having a meeting, 40 minutes later, you're with the orangutans.
Fantastic.
You can be having a meeting, 40 minutes later, you're in a beautiful longhouse with the people of Sarawak in their national dress. So the authenticity of the destination is dynamic. But the infrastructure to handle the business of the event and the subject matters for the business event, especially say in the 3 basic necessities of health, education and security, it's all there.
Brilliant.
It might be the great unknown, but it's all there, and it's easy to get to.
And that sounds awesome from the educational perspective of learning about a destination that's, you know, relatively remote, has amazing people, amazing environment, you know, so on. But just coming back to the meeting side of things, so in terms of technology, is that a bit of a struggle, or do they have the technology that's required?
State of the art. It's all there. Good internet services, good equipment, well maintained, up to date. BCCK leads the way. We've just had the ASEAN, ATF, ASEAN Tourism Forum, and with about 5,000 people altogether in the country, and that worked incredibly well on a rotational basis, lots of meetings and so forth, and it worked. No major hiccups at all, normal hiccups in any kind of environment like that, but nothing that would destroy the event at all. We worked very, very well.
Well, what an amazing destination. But where can people, if they want to hold some sort of event or a conference or an incentive or whatever in Sarawak, where can they find out more information?
Go to Sarawak CB, sarawaccb.com. It's all on there. There's downloads available. There's the usual photographs, lots of information, recommended programs, example programs and so forth.
Excellent. Now, in terms of an Australian now, with your track record in the meetings and convention business, that must give Sarawak a head start.
Well, that's very kind.
No, seriously, it's not. You know, I'm not being what's the word? I could swear, but I won't. But it must give them a head start, because a lot of places like Sarwak would start, from their own perspective and move forward from there. But surely you've given them a sort of leg up in a sense.
In a sense, what they did, they were very clever. They really did their homework. For example, they segment marketing for tourism away from business events. So there's the Sarawak Convention Bureau, then there's the Sarawak Tourism Bureau. So they based that model on good advice from Australia. So then they chose an Australian, my predecessor Jill Henry from Perth, to come up and kickstart the bureau. And she based it on the ICA model. So all the research hunting for business was based on the ICA model. All the education of staff, like we're doing here at AIME. We've got 3 people down for the ICA Youth Forum, run by Elizabeth Rich, thank goodness, because these guys are now incredibly well educated based on that forum. Then to continue that, when Jill had been there about 6 years and decided to go back to Western Australia, they asked another expat to come up to carry it into development of the international business environment. And the idea eventually is to hand over to Sarawakians.
Yes, of course,
For example, I'm here at AIME supporting the team, and we're going on to Sydney to do another forum. But then when we go to AMEX, I'm not going. I'm sending 2 of my top troopers.
You've delegated it onwards.
Delegated. And we know we are in good hands. They are creative, they're dynamic, they're warm, they're welcoming, and you can't stop them talking.
Mike Cannon, thanks for your time today.
Pleasure, John.
Thank
All the
you.
best to you.